Today we're going to talk about the embedded learner experience in Mindflash. We have three presenters today. There's Miles Saraldi, our head of design, Matt Smith, our director of solution engineering, and me, Randhir Vieira, our chief customer officer. So when should you consider embedding the Mindflash learner experience? This feature is especially relevant if you have some signed-in experience already. There are many examples of this. A few of them may be that you have a web application that people are already signed into. This could be software. It could be a mobile app that a user is signed into. It could be your own intranet. It could be some kind of portal or a partner community where your resellers, distributors, franchisees, customers, etc. Log into. So if you have some area, some site or application that people already sign into and have some signed-in experience, you might benefit from embedding the Mindflash learner experience. There are a few ways that you can embed the Mindflash learner experience, and each of them have their own pros and cons. On the left, we have the default Mindflash experience. So you could just embed the Mindflash learner experience as you see it today, and that's certainly very simple, very quick to implement, but it may not match the user experience that you already have or that you have in mind. On the other extreme, you could use the Mindflash APIs to build your custom learner experience, and you would get the exact and ideal customer experience that you want, but it might take a little bit more time. In the middle, and what we will be focusing on today, is customizing the provided reference code that we'll walk through today. So this gives you the best of both worlds, where you're not starting from scratch, but you're able to very easily take this reference code, make it your own, and modify it to meet your learner experience, and do this much more quickly than building this from scratch. So we'll talk a little bit about this example, and then we'll go into the design details around this and how you would customize the styles and the design to make it fit into your experience seamlessly. And we'll also look at the reference code from an engineering perspective and see how you would take this code and implement it on your own site. So here's an example of a user who is signed in. So this is Matt who's signed in, and Ace Soft is meant to be your signed-in experience. So you could have your dashboard, your inbox, any of the other things that are already a part of your site today. And then this training area is something that is powered by Mindflash. So everything that you see here is being returned for this user from Mindflash. This screenshot, the title, the description, etc. is all coming from Mindflash. Okay, the status of this user that they have completed these modules is all powered by Mindflash. The list that you're looking at over here is a superset of courses that Matt has been invited to, as well as the courses that Matt has access to via the catalog. This reference implementation has been already hooked up to an existing Mindflash account, and so you can see that this list of courses here, the series here, is the same list that we see over here. And if I were to change the course name here, so let's say I change ACRM to a soft CRM and update this. You see that it's been updated here as well. So this makes it really easy for your line managers to be able to manage what they need in Mindflash directly, and for those updates to flow through seamlessly on your learner experience. So let's talk about how you style this reference experience into your own experience. And to help you with that is Miles Saraldi.
Okay, so when we take a look at the code that's powering this example, in this first view, to see the front-end markup, it's just in views and then index.ejs. You can see here the course tile. Each one of these course tiles represents a course that's coming from our system and moving into the embedded experience. When you actually click into one of these courses, the course detail.ejs file will show the front-end markup for those. And when you click into View Module, which allows you to see a module inside of one of these courses, you click on View Course EJS, you can see the front-end markup for that. And then when you actually are looking to style all of this front-end markup, if we go up 2 levels to public and then into CSS, you can see styles.css, and this is where all of this styling lives. All of this is accessible and easily hackable through the CSS file, as well as using Zerb's foundation, which is part of this.
All right, thanks, Miles. So now it's time to look at the tech details. We will have a link to this GitHub repo in the notes, so you should be able to get to this yourself as well. So to help you with the tech details on how we've implemented it and how you can modify this code to get it to do just the things you want is Matt Smith.
Hello, I'm Matt. And let's go through some of the code. Okay, so you've seen the styles, you've seen the views. Miles walked through all that stuff. In the README, you'll see that this is based on our extended API. And one of the key features of that is that you obtain a user token, which is a little different than our current public API. You use the same public API key to get a user-specific token. That token is safe if you're going to use maybe like a single-page app or something like that. That's safe to put in a cookie or do whatever you need to do. It's specific to the user that you have gotten the token for. So here's an example call. I got a token for myself. You can use that token to get the main part is to get all of the trainee course data for that user. In this case, here's the courses, the modules in that course. You could use this just as we did here to just display all the courses that they not only are invited to and have started and also have available through catalogs. It can either be in just one big list, or you could segment this out into further details. You could have a special catalog area and a special area for courses that they're in the middle of, things like that. It's just a matter of the level of effort you want to put into this, what styling you want to achieve, but all that data should be available here in this API call so that you can segment it however you need it to be segmented. That call is represented in the code here in course detail. You can see right here, I'm calling the X API trainee course, and I'm using the token that I got before. The token is the code to get the token is here. In this case, this sample expects the email address to be on the query string. If you do an actual implementation, you'll want to swap this out with whatever mechanism you have to identify your users. Obviously, just having them put their email address on the query string is not production-ready code, but we wanted to keep this simple so that it's as easy as possible for you to integrate it into your system. The code here should be fairly straightforward. You can see here we're passing the Mindflash API key for your account. This is that token call that I had mentioned in the beginning, and it gets back that token. And in this case, we're just sticking it in a cookie and using it for the lifetime of the app. And then the last part is getting the actual embedded player URL. This is a fairly simple call that all it gives you back is the URL that you can use to launch them in a course. It takes a course ID and a module ID so that it knows which module to start them on. Courses can have multiple modules, and this lets us know which one to launch them into. And yeah, it's fairly simple call, just a URL. You can toss that into an iframe, and it will work. I'll show you the view where we have that iframe. That should be in View Course EJS. Yep, right here. It's just course URL.
Right, so Matt, how are they able to do a single sign-on? How are you able to get them into Mindflash without seeing a single sign-on?
Okay, so this, when you get that token and you use that to get the embedded player URL, that already has your session embedded in it. So you don't have to do any further single sign-on work if you don't want to. At that point, it will just work.
So let's address some frequently asked questions. What do you need to be able to build this? First of all, you need an API key. And if you don't already have one, your Mindflash Customer Success Manager can help you. And you need to have these users exist in the Mindflash system so that we can show you which courses they've taken, which courses they're eligible to take, their status, scores, etc. So that's all you need to be able to take this and implement it on your side. What are some other questions? How much work will this involve? We've designed this experience and the reference code to be as easy as possible for you to take and modify and implement. The exact time that it takes will depend on the people that you have working on it and the extent of customization that you want to make. Which systems does this integrate with? This is really system agnostic, so it can integrate with any system that you need it to integrate with. The key is to have some sign-in experience already so that you can pull in specific user data into your experience. But we've had people integrate this into web apps, into mobile apps, into their own web-based software, into partner communities, etc. So it is very versatile in the use cases that it solves. For how much does this feature cost? This feature is available as part of our enterprise plan, and your customer success manager can help you get the exact details for it. If you need any more information on this, please send us an email to help@mindflash.com and we'll be happy to get you started. Thank you.